Right now, there is a very real, very heavy anxiety gripping the modern workforce. We look at these endless racks of glowing servers, and it's hard not to feel like we are slowly being engineered out of the equation. The headlines are relentless. Thousands of programmers, copywriters, and analysts laid off. People are watching machines generate in seconds what used to take them weeks, leading to a terrifying question. If the cost of basic intelligence is dropping to zero, what exactly is a human being still worth? But the people actually building this architecture see a completely different reality. Take Dr. Fei-Fei Li, often called the godmother of AI. She looks at the exact same technological leap and sees the opposite of obsolescence. She argues that AI is not a biological replacement, but a powerful engine for agency, a tool specifically designed to automate the repetitive tasks that currently drain our cognitive bandwidth. To stop panicking about our future, we have to stop measuring our worth like a computer processor. We need to look past our modern, purely mechanical definition of intelligence and adopt a psychological framework developed over 2.5 millennia ago. In Theravada Buddhism, human cognition isn't a single flat metric. It's structured as 3 distinct tiers of wisdom, stacking from the most basic data gathering up to the highest forms of realization. When the tech industry tests an AI to see how smart it is, they are almost exclusively grading it on its ability to fill up the first 2 levels of this pyramid. Our collective anxiety exists because we keep trying to race the machines at the bottom. We've completely forgotten about the highest, uniquely human domain at the top. The base of the pyramid is Sutta Panya. This is the wisdom of accumulation, the facts you learn by reading, listening, and committing data to memory. Machines have entirely conquered this space. A large language model can ingest, cross-reference, and perfectly recall hundreds of thousands of pages in a matter of seconds. We cannot compete here. The second tier is Sutta Panna. This is the realm of active thought, taking that raw data and applying logic, calculation, and deductive reasoning. AI is currently sweeping through this level too. It can synthesize quarterly earnings reports, write complex software architecture, and handle the heavy cognitive lifting that used to require a team of analysts. If your entire career relies on simply memorizing rules and executing repetitive logic, you are playing a game that the machine has already mathematically won. But then we reach the peak, Bhavanamaya Panna. This is the wisdom of inner cultivation. It governs our spatial reality, our emotional intelligence, and our capacity for direct, intuitive realization. This tier operates completely differently from the bottom 2. It doesn't rely on processing inputs to generate an output. It requires actual, conscious awareness, a physical and emotional grounding in the real world. To see how a level 3 mind operates against a level 2 machine, look at Steve Jobs in the late 1970s. At the time, IBM was the undisputed leader of the industry. They had an overwhelming advantage in level 1 and level 2 intelligence, thousands of brilliant engineers, and immense computational power. IBM's pure logic dictated that computers were massive calculators for universities and corporations. There was no mathematical reason to put one in a living room. But Jobs, heavily influenced by his own meditation practice, used intuitive realization to see past the data. He recognized that humans needed a deeply personal, spatial connection to this new technology. By prioritizing the human experience over technical constraints, Jobs created the Macintosh, a machine that spoke the language of human space and interaction, rather than just code and punch cards. True innovation requires empathy. It requires standing in a physical space, feeling the friction of the human experience, and realizing a new path forward. Machines cannot participate in this process because they are completely incapable of actually knowing what it feels like to be alive. History shows us that technological shifts don't just erase work, they change its nature. The Industrial Revolution replaced the brute force of human muscle with steam and iron, which scaled our output and freed our bodies for more complex tasks. Today, AI is attempting the same feat with the brute force of intelligence, the rote memorization and repetitive charting that currently consumes our days. This creates what is known as a barbell effect in the future workplace. On one end, the AI absorbs the endless spreadsheets and the repetitive logical grind. On the other end, it creates a massive demand for high-agency generalists. These are people driven by spatial awareness and human empathy, wielding AI as a tool to execute their creative direction. Outsourcing our basic processing to a machine doesn't erase human potential. It clears the static, forcing us to step up and operate within our most advanced cognitive state. The best path forward is to stop avoiding this technology. You should use AI aggressively to handle your daily cognitive busywork. Look at the device in your pocket. It exists because an intuitive idea was paired with immense technical execution to build a completely new reality. When you let the algorithms handle the noise, you buy back the time to embrace stillness. You can step away from the screen, quiet your mind, and actively cultivate your own awareness. In a future of infinite commoditized data, a still and still-kissed consciousness is the ultimate competitive advantage. It is the one thing the machine cannot replicate, a mind capable of presence.